Yo, 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 ladies and slugs, we're back with another installment. Today with the Hump Day special. As always, it is your boys, the dudes, and Ava.
Yeah, they're fucking A.
Yeah, she was right on cue with that one. As you can tell, Ava's excited to be here. She's ready for the Wednesday night stream. She's got lots of stuff on her mind.
Yeah, what's pretty crazy is she was just laying down, and then as soon as you hit live, she could just sense your energy.
Yeah.
That you were going live.
Yep.
And
And
so she's
immediately
like,
ran over here.
She's like, all right, that's the energy is when they're starting. That's when they start talking. Because we were just kind of being quiet, and we hit live, and then your energy just kind of changed to live energy, but we hadn't even started talking, and she moved off the bed, got next to you, and started squeaking. So she could sense it.
Yeah, she could definitely tell that something was going on.
Yeah, that's that energy, that live energy coming to you, beaming across the world,
Beaming across the
all
interwebs.
over the internet, anywhere you are.
Coming at you from the mothership.
We're here to answer some questions, to figure out more questions, and to make silly, dirty jokes.
Basically,
So it's gonna be good.
that's the gist of the show. In a nutshell. My phone is refusing to take this picture.
Pictures for the socials, dude.
Yeah, I was trying to.
I like the ambiance we got going tonight. It's good. Hopefully everybody else has some sort of, maybe you got a drink, maybe you got a tea, maybe you have a nice dessert lined up for yourself.
Some sort of beverage. Yeah, I really don't
Because
understand.
we're about to blast off for an action-packed show for you tonight, folks. We got a few different topics we were going to talk about. We're going to then shoot it over to the comment section too. They're going to probably have some few topics to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. And at the end of it, hopefully we've figured something out so that we can move on to the next episode. To start off, we were going to send out our condolences to R. Kelly.
Yep.
He's been sentenced
I heard the news, yeah.
30 years. Now, I'm not talking about anything about George Floyd, okay? But I don't you think it is kind of weird that, like, this week we have two huge news in the lawyer's world, right? In the world of lawyering, we got some big lawyerings going on. To pop off the beginning of the week, we got Ghislaine Maxwell, dude.
What about her?
Freaking child sex trafficking extraordinary, dude. She's the head madame for the fucking Democratic Party and the liberal like elite establishment of the West, dude. She's like the lady,
Yep.
If you need something, the story was, is that it wasn't always just girls too. There's some people were into boys as well.
Yeah, everybody's got their thing.
Wasn't talked about on CNN, but you listen to the whole interviews of the girls, and some people say I didn't really see Bill Clinton with a lot of women. But anyways, the point is that this lady gets sentenced for harsh sentencing of 20 years, dude. Like that's, who knows if she'll serve all 20.
Yeah.
But
How old is she?
She was trying. They were a part of. She's older. I don't know. Probably in her 60s. But she was a part of blackmailing. I mean, they were essentially running a black book. It's a blackmailing book for people like Bill Clinton.
Yeah, she's 60.
For people like, you know what I mean? I mean, the list goes on and on for the amount of people that these people had in their black book.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They had dirt, they had videos, they had film.
On tons and tons and tons of people.
Maybe she talked, who knows? We never really saw a photo of her. We still haven't seen a photo of her. But what's interesting, she gets 20 years, is that a couple days later, R. Kelly gets 30 years. And I'm just saying, dude, it's because he's a black man.
It's yet to be seen. I definitely. JT said I want to say she's like 62. Yeah, she's 60. I just
Because he got 30
shot
years.
it up on the Google. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I wonder if maybe the difference was because her whole issue was like facilitation, right? Like she was just kind of
No,
facilitating
she
it.
definitely was completely involved in the acts as well.
Oh, well, shit. That kinda
Many
defeats
times, like for years and years. Yeah.
It defeats my theory.
She
then.
would like what would happen is like, yeah, I don't want to get too much into the dynamics, but I think the
Yeah.
dynamics worked is that like she would be the female person that would sort of like make the girls feel chill at first and then come hang out, check out this guy's cool place, and then she would make them give a massage, and then they'd leave, and then they'd come back because they gave them a shitload of money for a massage, and then they'd come back a second time, and then the second time the massage would be a little bit more, and then if they kept coming in and they were like cool with it because they kept getting money, then they figured out that like Ghislaine was kind of like probably like kind of liked doing like lesy things. You know what I mean? So then like after she would like, you know, take part in it as well.
Interesting. Yeah,
But I
wasn't
think
aware of
her
that.
thing is like a power thing. She likes, you know, taking.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of that was probably definitely a part of it, but probably more so part of it was just like she was head organizer. She was head like what they call madams, you know what I mean? Like madams are like ladies that like, you know, organize everything and get all the ladies in a line. Horrible stuff, man.
Yeah. It really is.
So it is interesting to see how the numbers tallied up. I know that he did personally probably do like really abusive things, right?
Yeah.
Whereas she probably didn't do such as abusive things.
Yeah, I guess that would make
Physically
sense. Yeah,
abusive.
his was pretty aggressive from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a weird.
At least.
Like it's interesting to theorize about why they were so drastically different.
Well, I think it's obviously because of George Floyd, bro. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's as deep as we're gonna cover it here. Gina Carano is also in the news recently.
She was.
As she mentioned on the Joe Rogan show that she was getting into a lot of fights when she was younger, and that one of the gnarliest fights that she ever got into was when she got like headbutted in the middle of midnight while super drunk with a bunch of different girls in the middle of a fight in the lobby of the Pepper Mill in Reno. And that was her shout out to Reno. Was
In the
that
Pepper Mill. Interesting.
back in her younger days when she was like 18 years old, she would get drunk and then roam around Reno, and she got in a really bad fight in the Pepper Mill.
That's kind of funny that it was in the Pepper Mill because when she was 18, her family still owned the El Dorado.
Well, right, yeah.
Which is kind of funny that she like wasn't like in her hotel. You know what I mean?
Probably going around starting shit in other
I
places.
guess, yeah. That is kind of funny. Yeah, little known fact. Yeah, I worked for the Chronos for a real long time. I guess technically I still do. Like I'm on call still at that place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't worked there in a long time. But I'm still on payroll. Still get like letters about, you know, like stuff that's going on. I just haven't put in hours in a long time. But yeah, Reno. I don't know if you'd call it fame or infamy, but that whole family is a pretty pivotal part of Reno history.
Yep, indeed. They own like like a good portion of what you would call like the downtown area, like the strip area of Reno.
Yeah, and then bought Caesars recently, Caesars Entertainment.
Yeah.
So I believe from the last article that I saw that they are the
COVID was real good for them.
yeah, but I'd heard that they're the largest.
Somehow, even though they had to shut down everything, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, super
anyways.
odd. But I'd heard that they're the largest hotel owning family in the U.S. now.
That would make sense.
After that acquisition,
Yeah,
like
after you
they
get
surpassed
Caesars?
Hilton.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. But yeah, they're doing
Probably the
pretty
largest
well for
gaming.
themselves.
Probably the largest gaming company.
Yeah.
as well. Honestly, I
I would
can't think of
think.
anything that's bigger than them.
I
in
mean, the
terms
only
of,
thing that's
like-
even close would be
like-
MGM, right?
No, I think MGM's like kind of. I think MGM recently got bought out by someone, but
Oh, interesting.
but also I think maybe even like by Chinese people. But also I think like maybe like Wynn. I don't know how big Wynn Resorts is.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they don't do gaming. They just do resorts.
Yeah, they're hotel only.
I don't know. It's a good question. But in terms of American companies,
Yeah,
they're up there
definitely.
now
They're
because
up
of that
for sure.
merger with Caesars is huge.
Yeah, that was very, very big for them. But yeah, I've met quite a few members of that family, including Gina herself. I met her in Reno and got to have a drink with her and a bunch of other people and take a picture, and it was a pretty cool experience.
Hey,
Hey, I'm walking here. I would definitely say
it's a pretty
she's
good time, huh?
she's probably the most famous of them, I would say. Her and then her dad. Her dad's pretty famous also.
Yeah,
'Cause
and the
he was,
grandpappy, right?
Well, yeah,
The old Don
OG, fucking Don Carano.
Carano.
He's like famous, like Reno famous, and like famous, I guess, like in the gaming world. But like, as far as like celebrity status, it'd be her and her dad,
Right.
because she's like an actress, and then
I think
her
she's
dad
like
was a Cowboys quarterback.
she's like an actress, which is pretty big.
She used to be a UFC fighter.
But not the family wouldn't have happened without the Don, right?
Yeah,
The
Don.
original Don.
Don's the one that fucking set it off.
They also make a pretty nice. They teamed up with the Ferrari family, and they make up. He spends his time on his winery
Pretty decent wine. It's not too bad.
around there in
It's
California.
affordable. Ferrari Carano Vineyards.
Yeah, dude. Think about those two. Put those two freaking names right next to each other, and then bottle it up.
Ferrari Carano. Sounds like royalty.
Yeah, so we're big endorsers. We're
Yeah.
pro Reno, pro Carano show.
I'm pro Carano all the way, through and through. Like I said, I worked for them for a long time. They're good people.
Yeah,
They're good folks.
yeah. They keep a lot of people employed, so that's nice.
They also keep a lot of dead bodies under the casino.
Well,
They keep a
no,
lot of
that's-
people employed.
That's just to scare off the enemies. You know,
Yeah.
no
Like, you
reason to
get-
look there.
You get caught stealing in this casino. You know what's gonna happen to you. You know what's gonna freaking happen if you get caught stealing in this casino. We're gonna chop your freaking hands off. That's the kind of OG Italianos that the Caranos are.
Do you think some of those types of families, you know, some of those families, with their names ended with the vowels? You think some of them have like just like random missile silos out there in the middle of the Black Rock Desert, dude?
Probably.
Disguised, dude. They could just like
I wouldn't be surprised. They at least
just
have
as
like a bunker.
just as a deterrent.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
at least have a bunker.
Yeah, but don't they say like the best defense is
A good
a
offense.
good offense, dude?
I think it's the opposite.
preemptive strike. Preemptive strike.
Isn't it the opposite of that? Isn't it the best offense is a good defense?
Not if you're fucking
If
Chad
you're the Caranos.
and you're preemptive.
That's true, yeah.
Take them out.
It's like the people that get in the least amount of car accidents, I'm pretty sure are the offensive drivers.
I don't think that's true, bro. That's
You don't think that's
wild.
true? I think if you're an offensive driver, I think you can avoid a lot more stuff than a defensive driver. I think
No,
if you're a defensive driver, you just get freaking smashed in the rear end.
no. If you're getting
Or as an
smashed-
offensive driver, you might clip a little guardrail, but you're gonna be all right.
No, if you're a defensive driver and you're getting rear-ended, it does happen. Don't get me wrong, everybody's unlucky, but there is also likelihood that perhaps maybe you're just not good at with people on
Driving.
your back. Yeah, you're not good at being defensive driver because like a big part of that is like one of the things that I think everybody should know is like this is something that you have to think of when you're driving. Like if there's someone on your butt,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and you're about to stop, you best be stopping earlier so that you're not like immediately stopping because God forbid they're on their phone
Yeah,
and then
just
and then
slam
you
your
get
shit.
yeah. So like it's always good to give yourself like some extra space to when you're really slowing down, when you're at that critical break point, gives you extra space in the front so that you can look in your rearview mirror, and God forbid that dude's looking on your phone, you can sneak up a little bit and give yourself some of that, you know.
That's true. Some extra play in
So
it.
there's some
wiggle
things
room.
there's some things you can do so that you're not rear-ended, you know what I mean? There's things that you can do to prevent rear-end. That's defensive driving. There's things you can do. I'm just saying, you know, I'm trying to save the world one day at a time. All right, let's get into the next topic. Folks. We're here to talk about the next topic. The next topic today is Jimmy Neutron. We saw a really good Jimmy Neutron meme in the Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord yet,
a really good meme.
click on the Discord, get in the Discord, follow the Discord. There's memes in there about Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron. Did you ever watch Jimmy Neutron as a kid, dude?
I did, yeah.
Did we
fan.
ever go over like the movie too, and how the movie's like about aliens and stuff?
I don't think we've ever.
One of the things I always talk about is like how like so much I feel like of like those really big corporation like movies and stuff are like what's that word where you talk about like what's that word where it's like they're trying to like educate us in a way, sort of. They're trying to open us up to the idea, you know what I mean? Like for example, like, you know what I mean? What are like all the baby toys, like kids toys, you know what I mean? Like, what do they always try to introduce kids into? Dinosaurs and like astronauts in space, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like big kids toys, and these are like things that they wanted to introduce the kids to like the world of dinosaurs. And I was super into dinosaurs when I was young, and then they want to introduce you to the world of space, you know what I mean? And so my idea is like, oh, what is that? Sorry, I'm just looking at your Nightbot stuff. I was like, what is that raised to?
Oh,
that's the code. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking it was like some sort of. Anyways, you get to these kids and you like imprint them on these really big ideas really young. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That Jimmy Neutron movie about aliens. It leaves a physical imprint on you.
Is there only one Jimmy Neutron movie?
The only one that I remember, but there probably is more than one.
Gotcha.
No,
Yeah,
there's definitely more than one.
Trying
now
to
that
think if I
about it.
remember the movie. Is that where they eat the space burritos?
Maybe that could just be an episode 2. Honestly, it's all that stuff. That's such a long time ago. It's kind of like one of those things. Like I went back and watched Rugrats, and I realized, wow, dude, this is like made for like 2-year-olds.
Like, you say that Rugrats is?
Yeah, it's very simple, dude. It's way more simple. And I thought like, oh, maybe if I go back and watch Rugrats,
I'll get like a lot of these jokes that I didn't get.
and I'll like find some like coolness in it. And then I realized it was like, nope, it's actually like super just toddler.
Yeah.
Not worth going back and rewatching, dude. It's like super just like, it's very basic.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if all those shows are like that, but
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of like a lot of people going back and watching SpongeBob.
yeah, SpongeBob's great, right?
Yeah.
SpongeBob's great because it's got like so many different meta levels where it's like there's a level for the adults that kids don't even understand. Like one of my favorite parts is like as a kid, this is my favorite like SpongeBob meme is as a kid, you think that SpongeBob is like the cool, awesome guy. He's so funny. He's so awesome. And Squidward's just a big old bum, you know? And you're like, oh man, Squidward, he's so lame and he never likes doing anything and he's always like lame and bored, huh? And SpongeBob and Patrick are always having fun. And then when you get older and you're like our age now, you realize like, oh, I really identify with a lot of Squidward's, like how he likes to just like have a nice shower.
Yeah.
How he likes his peacefulness. He likes just like watching his art and stuff.
Yep.
And then
doesn't like the constant loud annoyingness.
Yeah, and then SpongeBob is just so loud and annoying and you're like oh dude, it completely flip flops. And like at work, you know what I mean? You like want to be like SpongeBob, but then you realize that like at work, you know, you're just like Squidward, where you're like, you know, you're like, and then you're like, God damn, a customer. And then SpongeBob's like, yeah, a customer. And you're like, I hate that guy. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how it like flip flops as you get older. But when you're a kid, you're totally bought into it. You're like, oh, SpongeBob's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of funny. I never really thought about that too much.
There's so much of that with SpongeBob. I think that's one of the awesome things about SpongeBob. It's really well written. Another thing that's really cool is the dude went to like Humboldt State, and so he knows all about like fish. So like all the fish and stuff and all the crabs and stuff, they're all like sort of supposed to be based off of real fish species.
The writer of SpongeBob?
Yeah. Yeah, so they're all like real fish, you know what I mean? And like the way they live in houses and stuff, like, you know, how Patrick lives under a rock and everything. Like it's all very, you know.
That is funny. Yeah, I never thought about that.
There's a lot of marine biology, like little hints in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Futurama is great like that too. Futurama is one of my favorite all-time shows because of that. Like I heard a rule that the Futurama writers had where they were like, even if, and you know, because it's like super been known for being like really clever jokes and stuff. They're like, even if, what was the rule? I think it was like, even if you think 1% of the people will get the joke, if you think it's good enough, put it in. And they were like willing to do that. And that created like, and what's crazy about that is because now you have so many people that are like, oh, there's so many like jokes in Futurama that like go over a lot of people's head, but they tell you about it and they love that. And you're like, that joke would have never been in it if the writing room didn't have that rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's a huge part of what creates that cult classic is like the, you know, these like super sort of inside jokes that people love about Futurama. I mean, that's why I'm talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of a good point. Like it's Reflex. If it's not the damn boys, what's good? What's going on, Reflex? Thanks for stopping in. You're tuning in at the perfect time. But yeah, so that's what I thought. Have you seen Top Gun, the new one yet?
No, I actually haven't yet.
No. So
I imagine I will see it soon.
Yeah. So they were like there were a few jokes that were like very how do I explain it? Like so they were super quick, so they weren't like distracting from the movie, but there were like a few jokes that were like pretty like geared towards the military aviation community, like very explicitly, but like not even like there was this one joke, and I bring it up all the time like to a bunch of people, but there was like this one very specific joke. We were in like a pretty relatively full movie theater when me and Julia watched it. They cracked this joke, and I was literally, no, it's not a conspiracy reflex, I promise. They cracked this one joke, and I was the only person in the movie theater to laugh. Like it was like that tongue in cheek, like to where it wasn't funny to anybody. It didn't even have a funny delivery. You know what I mean? It was just a joke that like if you weren't in that line of work, you just wouldn't get it.
All right.
And like I literally like laughed out loud. Like I thought it was probably one of the funniest jokes in the movie.
Yeah, that's what.
And the entire theater was silent, and everybody just like looked at me, and then everybody was like, "What? Like what? Why was that funny?" And I was like, like it's not gonna be funny to explain, but it was like funny if you're like in that."
And you want the people,
you know?
want the people who are in the Air Force to like get those extra jokes because they're probably gonna go watch the movie, and I think that's what it's all about. You know, like
for sure, yeah.
You can't. Sometimes, like, if you want to make an awesome movie, you have to make an awesome movie, and you can't always just like dumb it down to the greatest common denominator, right?
Yeah.
It's that thing. It's like if you're gonna make a movie that's gonna be like worthy of like being called like a pearl or a gem, you know what I mean? It's that saying, like, you know, like if you give a bunch of swine a pearl, they're probably not gonna really
appreciate it.
They're not going to really appreciate it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's still like you shouldn't just be like, oh, it's not worth anything then, and just throw it away.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to find the right people, and then they'll appreciate it for its true beauty.
That makes
and
sense.
There's a fine line in the world of capitalism and art and how to sell our art through the capitalist market. There's a fine line between like, do we want to sell a bunch of merch toys and just have a bunch of scenes like they did in Star Wars, where it's like this scene is literally just to sell a toy in Walmart, and they did that for like a minute and a half. Or do you want to make like a movie, a really, really slow movie like The Godfather, which you can't really do anymore? But there's a fine line, and The Godfather, I mean, the Top Gun kind of figured it out.
Yep.
Futurama figures it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Julia said it was very obvious that Jalen was the only one who got it. And I was like, why is that so funny? Yeah, it was like, I thought it was fucking hilarious. And I talked to a bunch of the people that I fly with, and they all thought it was fucking hilarious too. But yeah, nobody else got it. But yeah, I agree. It's like, it's still worthwhile to put those like little nods in.
Yeah.
Like, even if only a handful of people understand it, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be implemented. Reflex redeem posture check. There you go. Absolute straight back for you. Yeah, that's a little too straight. There we go. Reflex said, shout out to the Sandlot movies, a gem. Let me tell you something, Reflex. You came to the absolute perfect channel, because I shit you not, I have a Sandlot tattoo. I fucking love Sandlot.
Dude, talk about it, dude.
What's there to talk about? I have a Sandlot tattoo.
What's the tattoo look like? Or what is it?
So I have a quote on one of the sides of my ribs that says heroes get remembered, but legends never die. It's like the coup d'etat, the top quote from the movie.
I like it.
One day I was just like, that'd be a cool tattoo. And then I went and fucking got it. That's the entirety of the story.
So it's been always like this?
What's up?
Ever since you were a kid?
Yeah, I swear, Reflex. I'm not going to show it on Twitch because I have a feeling it breaks community guidelines.
It does. There used to be a guy who streamed with his shirt off, and like guys can't take their shirts off.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but like you can also like, it's like technically against terms. And
yeah,
guidelines.
it's probably not smart, but Sandlot's the go. My favorite tattoo that you have. Yeah, it's my favorite one too. Here, we'll do this just so you can prove that I'm not a liar, but I'm not going to take my entire shirt off.
I think it's just the nip.
I think it's the nips too, so I'm going to be very careful.
There was a League of Legends. There used to be a League of Legends streamer that only streamed with his shirt off all the time, and they literally told me like, you got to stop doing that when they instituted it.
That's it right there. You can like kind of see it.
It's there.
Yeah.
Heroes.
Not going to go full nip or get any closer, but you get the gist.
Do you have any like pops from Sandlot?
I do actually.
Like pop
like
figures?
in the closet.
Like,
yeah.
I felt like you probably did.
What the fuck? But they allow 21 plus streams? What in the BS? Yeah. For some reason, they consider male and female nips to be
The nip.
the same.
It's the nip.
Even though I could go to like a public swimming pool and be around children with my nips out, and that wouldn't be an issue.
If you taped your nips, I think
yeah,
you'd pass.
what are the rules on if I just pasted my nips?
I think you'd be fine.
JT said you better put that sexy ass belly button away. Yeah, we're starting to discover all new types of fetishes that the internet has. Belly buttons,
Come on, fans.
earlobes.
Donate for earlobes and belly buttons. Oh, what do you got going on here, dude?
Trying to fix the front cam again. It's
Okay.
shit in the bed. Give me 1 second.
So there I was, deciding. No, yeah, Sandlot is a good one. Best line from the Sandlot. Let me hear it. Well, I would imagine for Jalen, it's got to be the one that he tattooed onto himself. I would hope so.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that would be buyer's remorse if you're like,
Definitely would.
I like this, but it's actually the second best line from Sandlot. I should have got, So that's probably his favorite line. But I'm curious to hear what your favorite line is.
It's either that or like "You're killing me, Smalls." That's like a
that's the
vintage
common
line.
Meme. That's the common meme for sure.
JT said, "No, I said that because I'm pretty sure it breaks community guidelines on other platforms." LOL. The belly button does. Interesting. It definitely doesn't on Twitch because Amaranth. Yeah, Amaranth gets away with the belly button shots. I always thought that thing they ate before they got on the ride and threw up was beef jerky. Yeah, dude, that ain't no beef jerky. That's chaw, brother.
Chaw?
Chaw.
Oh yeah, they're just chewing on jerky,
Frickin',
man.
yeah. They're just chewing on beef jerky. Nothing too crazy.
Did your parents tell you that or something? Or were you just innocently minded? That's funny. Chaw, dude. Yeah, that stuff will make you freaking...
Well, I mean, it's also probably because
I've thrown up from tobacco.
I was gonna say we grew up in like a redneck community where people did dip, so I guess that makes sense. Like why we knew what dip was,
Dude.
And I also dip, so
I knew there was when I got a little bit older and moved into like met people from Southern California. There was people who didn't know what dip was,
yeah,
and I was pretty surprised about that.
exactly. It's like, I guess we had the privilege of growing up somewhere where a high percentage of the community dipped, but some lady named Ruth, baby Ruth. Yeah, there's a bunch of good lines. L7 Weenie, come on, classic. The crack up when he was trying to say the Great Bambino. Yeah, Sandlot's like, yeah, it's up there in like top tier movies. You pop for apples in the toilet and you like it. That entire scene where the kids are like arguing on the baseball field, they're like shit talking to each other. That entire scene is fantastic. And I love too, it's just like that like little like 7th grader mentality where like the final straw is like when the one kid just yells and says you play ball like a girl. That's like where they finally like they're shit talking to each other's moms, they're shit talking everything. Then one of them's like you play ball like a girl, and they're like, oh, that's it. Those are fighting words. Like
It's kind of sexist in 2022.
it's a bit insensitive.
I think that might not work in today. Just viewing the way women in men's sports work nowadays.
Yeah,
Like women do have equal opportunity.
they do. That is true.
You can't deny that.
In today's society, they
Like in
do. Back in those
democracy,
days, they did.
And in a real democracy, women have equal outcome as men. You can't say that. They're both the same. Or they're both equal.
You see, you can't say that they're both equal, or you can.
I don't know, dude. I don't think I don't even want you to debate my views, okay? If you even try to say any, like that's how I feel.
If you even try and debate me,
That's
you're
how
wrong.
I feel, and if you upset my feelings, it's just gonna be triggering to me, and it's probably because of who I am. So please, just like, stay away from it. Let's not.
We need to
talk
add
about
a
it.
trigger warning.
Trigger
It's the closest I have to a trigger warning. Julia said, if my dog was as ugly as you, I'd shave its butt and make it walk backwards.
Trigger warnings are good because I hate triggers.
Yeah, I could care less.
Yeah,
about
but I mean,
triggers.
they are annoying though, right?
I mean,
Like, what triggers you, man? What triggers you lately?
nothing really triggers me. I'm not a very easily triggered person.
There's things that get you triggered though. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't.
like what about like when you're going to poop, dude, and then it goes, you only get halfway done.
I mean, I wouldn't call that triggering. I would just say it makes me upset.
like,
It's disappointing.
triggering is like, okay, so let's think. What's like a good trigger, right? Like a good.
I would
trigger.
think triggering is like things that like people hear them and then immediately like go into immediate panic attacks and crying and screaming and shouting at people.
No, but a trigger can be as simple as like, for example, like a trigger can be as simple as like, let's say you like, me and you we're drinking some fermented fruit. So
Yep.
we're drinking alcohol. A trigger can be as simple as like you walk into a room and people are drinking. So that triggers your brain to go like, oh, they're drinking. I drink. Maybe I should drink too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
That's a
guess.
trigger.
I guess if you're talking like the literal definition of the word trigger, I'm thinking
Yeah,
of, like,
I'm just
the
talking.
social
Let's
media.
just break it down to the absolute like base theory. You know what I mean? So like these are things that are triggering. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so then when we say triggering, like when I was saying it, I usually add like a negative triggering connotation.
Yeah,
Like the ones that
like
kind of
getting
annoy
triggered.
you. Things, but they're almost like we used to call them pet peeves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have a certain pet peeve.
Yeah,
You know
see,
what I mean?
in my brain, pet peeves and triggers are like drastically different.
They're pretty much kind of the same thing if you think about them, though.
I mean,
It's just the reactions are different because of like for certain reasons, but like they're the same thing in the sense that like it kind of like gizzes our brain out. It shuts it out. You know, we go processing. You know what I mean? We kind of shut down for a second.
I feel like a pet peeve just makes me like notice it. I'm like, oh, annoying, and then like I go about my day. Whereas like if something triggered me, I would like
they're micro
go
triggers.
like full skiz, like
pet peeves are micro triggers, and if you have a really bad
microaggressions.
Yeah, they're microaggressions.
Yeah.
Well, they're not all aggressions, but they're micro triggers, and sometimes they can be aggressive. Like if you have like certain things like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of triggers that aren't completely associated with like rainbow hair. You know what I mean? Like, because the only people who use trigger are rainbow hair, but I think the word isn't necessarily horrible. And I think that there is some redeeming quality towards it, and it's something that we really do always like all of us really do experience triggers on multiple levels, and some of our behaviors are different than others, so that affects the way we react to things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the fundamental idea of a trigger is like we don't really have control over these stimulations that we receive. You know what I mean? I think that's the idea of a trigger, is that like it's not about the way we react to things. I guess it's not the way that we so we do react to them, but it's not the way that we act after we've reacted to said trigger. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like we do react to something that happens, but then some people think that it's okay to act horrible in reaction to these triggers. You know what I mean? But we all do experience, like, you know, for example, like someone who's an ultra conservative, ignorant Christian person from Utah, these two gay guys kissing, he's probably gonna get triggered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he is getting triggered. He wouldn't dare say it because he doesn't think that word applies, or he doesn't think that he can say that word. But he is getting triggered.
Yeah.
It's a microaggression. If you're doing it in front of him and you know that person's like religious beliefs, you're kind of like you're intolerantly microaggressioning him.
Yeah, that's true.
In ways.
Reflex said, "What a world." I mentioned a single movie. It could have been any movie, but I mentioned The Sandlot. Yeah, that's
small world.
Almost like, yeah, a very small world. It's almost like a manifestation kind of thing. Like there was a reason that you came to this specific stream to mention The Sandlot.
It's weird how the world works like that. I believe they call them synchronicities.
Synchronicity is a great word for it.
You know what I mean?
You said, whoa, why is the Christian ignorant? No, the Christians aren't.
No, Christian people aren't ignorant, but some Christian people are ignorant. But being Christian doesn't mean you're ignorant.
Correct, yeah.
There's
ignorant people of all beliefs.
No, but if you were ignorant and you also lived in a rural country in America, in like a rural countryside, and you were ignorant, you didn't really
and
very
super into Christianity,
you were probably Christian. You'd get triggered
homosexuals
by homosexual sex, like public
activities.
affection.
Yeah,
if it was right in front of you, you'd probably like it'd be triggering. Now you'd probably honestly, if you're in Utah or you're Mormon, or probably honestly most of the times, you'd probably be kind of respectful and just kind of bite your lip and look the other way and just try to act like you weren't even noticing it. You know?
Yeah.
It's not, but
in your brain it would
it's triggering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trigger alert.
Yeah.
They should trigger alert him, bro. They should ask him first, like, "Hey, are you
okay with us kissing?
Pro LGBTQ?" And and then if he says no, then it's like you ask for his consent, go to the other, like go across the hallway,
and then go kiss over there, yeah.
And that guy would probably start voting in your guys' favor a lot quicker.
Probably.
I think you'd be surprised if you just start asking for consent. You know, isn't that what we're all saying?
Yeah.
Just being a little bit more aware of everyone's triggers. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Or don't. Whatever you want.
No, I think it comes down to like the word trigger is so like BuzzFeed, but I think there is an element of just like common politeness that I think could probably, like, if you just follow that like common politeness, it'll probably lead you down the right path.
For sure, yeah.
The middle path, you know.
Yeah, it would definitely.
But triggers are real, you know. I think there's some things that trigger me, man. There's some things that trigger me.
It was just zonked.
She didn't even really have much energy.
Yeah, she like got all excited for the
Real
stream and then
quickly,
kind of
and then-
just
Yeah, it was like a real quick burst, huh?
yeah, and then she just kind of tapped out quick.
Isn't that weird though? How like how just the Sandlot thing, to go back to that, these synchronicities, things that like line up. It's like things line up oftentimes too well for the whole world and everything to be random. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I almost think that like, you know, I just feel like it's all like, you know, it makes way more, you know, it could be just like way more, it could be not random.
Yeah, I definitely think there's like
what if there was like a programmer and like a code, you know what I mean? Like in the Matrix.
yeah.
And so if there's a code, there's like a way there's going to go about it. And there's different ways that you can go about it. There is like a random aspect, but all within it. Like, I just think that the world's probably a lot, they say 7 billion people or whatever, but just, the world just seems like such a smaller place than that. You know, everything just seems super well connected, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It all just seems to line up so well.
Yeah, a lot of things do seem to line up in kind of a very odd way. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it is one of those things where. Sorry, I was applying chapstick and not facing my microphone. Got a gnarly chapped lip.
It's important.
It is, yeah. I forgot to put it on earlier and went on a bike ride and came
yeah.
back and my lips were just
Oh yeah,
chapped to frick, dude.
that'll do it too.
But yeah, it's like one of those things where maybe the like programmer that was writing the code was like, you know, this guy Reflex, he likes Sandlot. We're gonna program it, like we're gonna put this thought in his head.
Smart, dude. You think
You don't
it's
think it's that smart?
No, I don't think it's that smart. I don't think it's that ready yet, but I think that it is doing stuff like that. Like, I don't think that was the specific thing here. Like, I don't think that the internet was doing that. If someone, in order,
No,
for
I don't
someone
think
to be,
the internet was doing that. I think
Okay.
the programmer of the world was
Right.
doing that.
yeah, that could be. It
Yeah.
could be something more like that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, I thought we were talking about the internet. Yeah.
No, the person who's
That's
writing
what
the
I
code.
think, dude. Well, dude, I told you that thing about. I was listening to this thing. I've talked about Philip K. Dick. He's this author, dude, who's kind of like has these crazy ideas, and he wrote a lot of famous books that then became movies. Recently, actually, more so than back when he was writing. But anyways, he has these crazy ideas, and I was listening to one of his interviews where he was talking about this idea, and I was just listening to it today or yesterday, and it's kind of like he was just kind of agreeing with what I've already had in my mind for a bit now from all the things that I've heard from other people, which is like, it's this idea that like, you know, I don't know how many different individuals are involved, but his idea was kind of cool, which was like, there's, okay, obviously a programmer who's running this, and he's probably gone through multiple different attempts. If you've seen The Matrix, that's kind of how The Matrix goes. And the idea is that you would like to think that after every attempt, the world is getting a little bit better. So there's this like infinite spectrum between like the perfect world, which is like somewhat like heaven, you know, or what I think we are imagining for our heaven.
Yeah.
Or like when some people say like, oh, I went to heaven for a second when I died, you know what I mean? Maybe they are actually seeing glimpses of that place. So it's an actual like programmed world that the programmer eventually programmed. But our code is that somewhere in the middle. We're in one of these middle worlds where like he's had multiple different saves on the spectrum, from like horrible, not everyone starving prison world to like heavenly kingdom world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're in one of these saves, and that's just like kind of what we're living through. And each one gets better because it's kind of like, you know, all these religions have that idea, right? That we're all like learning, doing this experience over and over again until we get it right and learning all of our lessons. Like the programmer is like learning lessons about how to act and about life through us. You know what I mean? Through his little pieces. And who knows what we are? If we are like completely sentient, are we like this? That's what I like to think, is that like there are people who've decided to take up this game that the program has created. You know what I mean? And we're not just NPCs, but we are like individual people in this game that have decided to pick our characters, and they know what the levels are in front of us. They know what the levels are behind us. They know like some of the like hopefully they read some guides on the internet and figured out some guides before launching into us. You know what I mean? Some of us, our dudes, probably read more guides than others, and they know
Yeah.
like when I get to this level I do that, when I get to this level I do that. And some people are just like, oh dude, he's just talented, he just knows, he's just always makes the right decision.
Yeah.
You know, in the time of it, you know what I mean? It's like, is that guy making the right decision, or is it the other dude who's sort of like playing this program and gets to play these characters, and then when the save goes, oh, you know, I tried, but you know, I'm gonna try again next time.
Yeah.
And it's just, we get better and better each save, you know what I mean, as
Yeah.
we go. And that was kind of his idea, is like, you know, maybe deja vu is like a weird thing where we're accidentally like seeing like, oh, I did this before, or
The
something
save-
like
the
that, or
save
like
file,
the
like,
save
gets-
file
yeah.
is getting corrupted, or like the save file is even like changing. When we've done it, we get deja vu. It's a sign like, hey, you've been here before, but it's about to get different, or something like that. You know what I mean? He just had some crazy ideas on it, so he wasn't really fully sure of what's going on. But I think it could be something like that, and that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's
And so obviously
make sense, and-
Reflex doesn't know, but Reflex's person would know.
Yeah, his
and maybe
player would know.
Reflex's person is the same person that you are. That's what's trippy.
yeah. Reflex said, I'm all for it. Make this man the programmer of the universe. Yeah. And I mean, so your concept would make sense if you think about like there's a lot of people who will be like driving down the road and they'll just have some like weird urge. I think you even said that you've done it once where like you were driving and then just had a really like weird urge to like swerve or something like that, and then like ended up just yanking the wheel, and then turns out like you were gonna hit something.
Oh no, I said I've
what
been
was
in
your
an
thing?
experience. It wasn't me, but I've had an experience before. This was a little bit different, where like I was in a car with someone and we were both driving, and there was a deer in the middle of the road, and they swerved. I wasn't driving, I was in the other
yeah,
car seat, and
I
they
remember now.
swerved. And what they had said was, you know, after like a while of not even talking about it, it just happened. But after a while of talking about it, they had said like, oh, I didn't even see the deer. Like someone said like, hey, there was a deer in the road.
Yeah.
And I was the other person in the car. I was like, I didn't notice it. You're the one who saw it. So like, I definitely didn't say anything. So if you heard anybody saying something, it wasn't me.
That's what it was. Yeah, I mean, kind of a similar concept where there's people who just have like a weird twitch to like do something. They'll like swerve their car or something, and then, or like they'll think like, for some reason I'm just not gonna go to work the way that I normally go. I'm gonna take this route that takes 5 minutes longer, and then turns out like there's like a 90 car pile up that happened like right when you would have been going through there.
Yeah.
Things like that would make sense when you're talking about like your player, because like if your player's going through like all these different saves, like they've freaking driven that way on their last 4 characters and tried to swerve it every single time and just smash their car. And so they're like, okay, dude, on this save, I know it takes 3 minutes longer, but I'm going to go the other way so I don't have to restart at the last checkpoint.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, I'm just going to drive around this way. And so they just take their character and they zoom them around the other way. It's like when you're playing Skyrim, like
Yes.
you trek through this one part of forest and you're a level 4, and then all of a sudden you come across like a giant and it just fucks you up. And it's the most direct route. So you try it again. You spawn at the checkpoint and you try again and it fucks you up. So then you spawn at a checkpoint, you try and run around it and it fucks you up. So your 5th time, like getting back to the checkpoint, you're like, all right, dude, I'm going to go all the way the frick up this mountain and I'm going to go back down the other side of it, even though it takes forever, you know, but your player in the game doesn't know like that the last 4 iterations just died. It's just like being controlled by you.
Yeah, that player to them, that player would have no idea. They would just feel it's like intuition.
Yeah.
Or it's like, hi, it's just like, I didn't really even
This
think
is the
about
way
it.
I'm going to go. Yeah.
They don't need to know those types of things. And
For
that's
sure,
what's
yeah.
kind of trippy. So like, that's, oh man, yeah, that's what's kind of trippy. I think one of the things, oh man, there's a couple things that you were hitting up on. Oh, like another great example of like people like, oh, they just like, may, you know, or no, I'm not going to even say it, but like, Oh, here we go. Reflexes. Actually, it's interesting because I woke up once and I had this bad feeling. I just felt like I had to stop somebody from leaving. Moral of the story: my brother crashes in a motorcycle that same day, and then
Oh, jeez.
yeah. So exactly. So see, and that's similar to the sign of, I call it incontinence. Incontinence is a medical term, but I've heard it used in philosophy, and I've heard it used in this idea. It's like incontinence from the other side. So what incontinence is it's incontinence is like when your sphincter is kind of loose, and so accidentally sometimes like some poop liquid will seep out. It'll leak out, right? So we have some like your sphincter. It's like supposed to cut off it's the border,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you have some seepage, right? So that's what like but that is what it's like meta, like not even meta universal, but like it's like some other, like from the other side you're getting incontinence, where it's like my friend who said he thought someone said, hey dear, you know what I mean? But maybe that was just someone from the other side saying it. You know what I mean? Like this insane urge to get this person to just go a little bit sooner than usual. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of an extra, a nudge. And unfortunately for you, like the feeling was loud, but maybe it wasn't loud enough. That incontinence there wasn't enough leakage, unfortunately, for your brother's accident. That's really sucks. And that's the type of stuff that's so crazy. And that's when it gets into like the whole weird world with like, you know, we're all humans are on a spectrum and all of our brains are on a spectrum. And do you think that like some brains with some genetics may be more like receptive to these thoughts or this sort of like a form of communication, like people that are just ultra sensitive to it?
Yeah.
It could be possible. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely
me.
could be possible also, yeah.
It would scare me to think about. Just like if there are some people that are employed, you always think, oh man, who would they be employed by?
Yeah. 3-letter agencies.
Or even just private companies, dude, at this point.
Yeah.
These days. Man, what was I was going to say a couple different things. Something about deja vu. Something about... I don't think it matters too much, though. That whole idea, though, kind of racks my brain sometimes when I think about it.
Yeah, I agree. But what's the meaning of the weird statue? What weird statue?
You mean Esther?
Oh yeah, are you talking about Esther, dude? She's not a weird statue.
She she likes to vogue poses, but she's not a statue. She's definitely not a statue.
She's not. Her name is Esther. She's very tall. She's a wonderful young lady. Honestly, one of the favorite, that and the neon sign are my two favorite parts of the studio. Those two. That guy and
if you have a question to ask Esther, we can definitely tag it along to her. So if the viewers ever want to ask Esther a question,
yeah,
you can go ahead and just put it in chat. And if you want something a little bit more spicy, something a little bit more private, something a little bit more specific, go ahead and drop a donation or a Twitch Prime sub.
like Annabelle.
Who's Annabelle? We're not really sure who Annabelle is, but
Isn't Annabelle the creepy doll?
oh, I don't know. I don't like scary movies, man. I don't like scary movies.
I love them.
You like scary movies?
Oh, I love scary movies.
You like all like
My favorite genre
like
of movie.
Is it your favorite genre of movie, bro?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like watching all of them?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll watch them for fun.
What type of them?
The scarier, the better.
But like, what's scary to you? Like, what are your favorite scary movies? Kind of like, just not. No, you don't have to like. Not. I'm not trying to put any pressure, but like, just if you started naming off like a list, you know.
Sinister. Sinister's pretty good.
Sinister 3?
No, just the original.
Okay, so the original Sinister.
Yeah.
Who wrote the original Sinister? Some of these people like some of these people are kind of famous, right?
Blah, 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 blah.
Wasn't the guy who made Sinister like kind of a weird dude, sort of?
Not sure. No, thank you. I don't want to wake up with a note saying miss me. No, she doesn't write notes. She'll just contact you in your dreams.
Oh, look, Ava's looking at it, Esther. She's
Yeah.
wondering.
Ava's over there peeping out Esther, just kind of staring at her, checking her out, making sure everything's all good.
What's up, Ave?
I thought that the original Sinister was I don't want to even guess because I'm gonna sound extremely racist. Like the Asian guy that writes a lot of horror movies, something Wong, Jong.
Yeah. Andrew Wong?
I don't know.
He's got a nice white name. His first name is white, you know. It's like yeah, but I think that guy's supposed to be pretty good, huh?
Oh no, director
Chris
Scott.
Wong.
No, Christopher Young. Director Scott Derrickson is what this says. Okay, so then the person that I'm thinking of wrote
Oh, right.
maybe Paranormal Activity.
No.
Nope. What's the other one?
Insidious.
Insidious. Thank you. It's gonna be this guy. Nope.
Read this journal.
Insidious. James Wan. I was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So James Wan wrote Insidious.
He's wrote a few, huh?
He also has something else that
The
was
Conjuring.
really. Thank you. That's why I was thinking Sinister. So The Conjuring, also very scary. Sinister, very scary. Insidious, it was okay.
Oh, dude, he a banger with Aquaman too.
Yeah, Aquaman's good.
Jason Momoa and Amber Heard were fucking
Yep.
studs in that.
What's the new?
We could talk about that, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, that's okay to say these days.
Hereditary was frightening. I think Hereditary also was the same. What's Ari Aster? Yeah, this guy's good too. He
Oh,
did
whoa,
he
what a
did
trippy name.
Midsummer. Yeah,
He's
Hereditary
got a
and
crazy
Midsummer.
name too, dude. Ari
Ari
Aster.
Aster, yeah.
Like, Aster is like an interesting. Anyways, I like
Yeah.
names like that.
He did Hereditary and Midsummer. Midsummer is also really good.
How's he know about like Midsummer? You know.
I don't know. Probably just did some research, I guess. The cool thing about Midsummer is that Midsummer is in like one of those like I can't remember exactly what country, but one of those Scandinavian countries
Yeah.
where the sun never sets like while they're there. So the entire movie is like filmed in the daytime and everybody's wearing like white clothes and like there's like a ton of like flowers and green scenery.
Yeah.
It's like the only horror movie
'Cause that's like
pretty
how
much
their
in
religion-
existence. Yeah.
It's like all that's like that's all like real religious
Yeah.
outfits that people actually wear.
But like look at these like snippets. Like you can see like there's not a single dark scene in the movie.
Right.
Like whereas almost
'Cause it's in
all
the
other
summer, right?
Yeah, almost all other horror movies, even horror movies that take place in the summer take place at night in the summer.
Right.
This one was bright daylight with bright colors and everything the entire movie and still was like just as unsettling as any other horror movie, which is like
Right.
cool to see. It didn't rely on like darkness and jump scares. It just like relied on like being creepy.
For sure. That makes
Whereas
sense.
like Hereditary, which he also wrote, relies like almost exclusively on like being like dark and these like weird muted colors. Even this is like inside during the daytime, you can see, and it's like an extremely poorly lit
For
house.
sure.
This is outside. They use dull colors, like nothing is like bright and like vibrant. So it relies a lot on like just shit being like dark and creepy, you know. But
yeah, for sure.
we're
That's a good
Midsummer's
point.
kind
That's a
of the
good
polar
point.
opposite, which is
Nice. Sure, good point.
cool to see for sure.
It's pretty risque for sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're both pretty like risque. They're
Not
both like
risky. I shouldn't be saying it's risky.
yeah.
I'm just saying risque because that's a cool word. But it's risky to make a scary movie, and you have to pitch that to the upper ups, right? Like you have to tell them like, hey, we're like it's literally gonna be all in daytime. Like that's gonna be like kind of a gimmick here.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna be able to still make it scary, and then you gotta listen to those guys.
And
go
there's
like,
not much jump
"Oh,
scaring
but,
either.
You know, it's not a really good idea. You know,
Yeah.
and then they're
We're
gonna
used to Paranormal Activity where like things just make a loud noise,
And then they come back,
Yeah.
Oh, we did some numbers, and most time we did some polling, and 87.5% of the time when people are most scared, it's in a
In the
scene
dark.
where there's 80%, like they really got it
80%,
down.
80% black on the screen.
It's crazy how much, like, if you go into, like, how they set up the scenes and how much, like, coloring goes, and, like, they have to do, like, this whole color thing nowadays in these movies where, like, once you pick, like, a color scheme, like, you have to keep with that scheme the whole movie.
For sure, yeah.
Unless you're, like, specifically, like, doing something, like, you know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah.
it's very, like, they pick their colors. It's wild how much.
See, you can see, too, like, Ari Aster right here. This is literally...
Yeah,
those are
perfect,
both of the
perfect.
covers. Like, Midsummer makes it very apparent that it's, like, a bright, bright sunny color scheme, and then the one for Hereditary is, like, grayscale. So it's kind of interesting. JT said they were both awful. Yeah, Julia, well, first she said this movie was so creepy. Ew. Yeah, she doesn't like horror movies, but... And then Reflex said cinematography is crazy. Yeah, it's a whole art form for sure. And Ari Aster definitely he nailed it with these two. And I don't know, they were kind of like pretty sure Hereditary, like I didn't even hear about it like really coming out until I just like saw it was in theaters and like it was tagged as a horror movie. And I was like, oh, like I want to go see this. And then same thing, like I had seen Hereditary and was like, that was one of the few horror movies where I left the movie theater feeling like genuinely uneasy. Like I just felt like something in my stomach just felt like off. You know what I mean? I kind of like left like, I almost felt like dirty when I left the movie theater. I was just kind of like, oh, like I like horror movies, but like that one was like a bit like weird, And then somebody when I was in Arkansas was like, oh, have you seen Midsummer? And I was like, no, I've never even heard of it. And again, I look it up and it's Ari Aster. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like another movie that I just hadn't heard of, like Insidious and Sinister and all those were like all over everything. There were commercials from everywhere. I knew of them before I went to the theater, but both of these ones I didn't, hadn't even heard of before I went to see them. And I was extremely pleasantly surprised with both. Yeah, they were real good. One thing that Midsummer does too that's really cool is Midsummer, the like soundtrack that they use isn't like, there was nothing that was like really musical that I could think of. It was just like a lot of like, it was supposed to be like organic. It was like in the scenes where it was like they were doing like their, I don't want to say tribal, but like what's the word I'm thinking? Cultural. It was like their cultural music that was like playing in scenes. The music did like an extremely good job of like creating the feeling of uneasiness for you. And it wasn't just like music that was being pumped in a scene that doesn't make sense. Like the music would start playing, it would make you feel uneasy, and like the camera would pan over and there was like a whole band of people playing that music at like the Midsummer festivities thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was all natural to the scene, which was cool. Reflex said I might have to watch them. Yeah, if you like horror movies, I would highly recommend both of these.
There you go, man. We all learned something tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, if you need more recommendations on horror movies, I got the scoop, dude. I watch every single one that I can find.
Oh.
Essentially. If it's well rated and seems like I'll like it. But yeah, pretty much every big box horror movie for sure. I've seen every single one in like recent times.
Those are all good ones. Have you ever seen The Babadook?
I have.
The Babadook's really good too.
Yeah, The Babadook was actually not bad. The Babadook was like a straight to Netflix movie, I think, or something like that. Like I don't think it was a theater release. And so like that's how into like horror movies I am, where like I'll just scroll on Netflix in the horror category and like look for shit that never came to theaters and try and find stuff that's like that I would scare me. But The Babadook, yeah, was genuinely pretty creepy. Same with you ever seen The Bye Bye Man?
No, I haven't seen that one.
That was another really good one. I made Julia watch The Bye Bye Man also, and she wasn't a fan of that one either. As long as it's not like Batman, one song for a 2-hour movie. Yeah, no, it's definitely like the music mixes up, but it all feels like cohesive. It sounds different, but the same kind of. I don't know. Good movie. Just watch it. And the cool thing about Midsummer is it's not super scary. Like Midsummer's unsettling, but it feels more like a thriller, like kind of like a psychological thriller than a horror movie. It's not like too like scary,
Right.
but from like a cinematography aspect and like just a filmmaking aspect in general, it's very well done. Very well done. Just freaking zonked now, dude. Just absolutely passed out.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know how when you want to, but I was thinking maybe like wrap up kind of series.
I'm down for whatever. Yeah. I'm good for whenever.
And some like a few closing notes as we kind of put a wrap up on this episode here.
Put a bow on the present.
I think one of these things that I think may become a reoccurring thing in some of these episodes coming up here, dude, is I'm gonna start kind of rapping and sort of supporting. Like, I feel like one of the most underrated bands, bro, out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this band is just like, people think this band sucks, man. And I'm just like, man, they put out a lot of good hits.
Nickelback?
Nickelback.
Yeah.
What's going on with you guys, dude?
I'm a big Nickelback fan, unapologetically.
What's all the hate?
Couldn't tell you.
I think Nickelback, I think they got some good songs, man.
I agree. Reflex said, how are we spending the 4th of July, boys? I think we're golfing. Not on the 4th, but 4th of July weekend. We're,
With some, on the 4th, we'll be with sparklers
yeah, fireworks and sparklers.
and worms.
Yep. But yeah, we're gonna be golfing for the weekend. Wrapping up so early, Jesus, I didn't know I was watching the Joe Rogan Experience with AJ. Yeah, it's unfortunately it's a work night, which is a big bummer, but it's all good because we'll be back soon.
Yeah, we'll be doing another stream here again soon.
Yeah.
And I think he only turned in like halfway. If you want to go watch the first part.
Yeah, you definitely didn't miss much if that makes you feel any better. You were here for a majority.
Yeah, we talked about the Joe Rogan Experience, though. That was the only thing you missed at the beginning. But we got some other videos too, and we're gonna be coming out with it. We'll be coming out with another longer stream.
Yeah.
Here soon. So
I was thinking maybe. I mean, we'll figure it out, obviously. But I was thinking maybe a Friday night this week.
Yeah, dude.
You don't work Saturday, right?
I work tomorrow, and then I have 3-day weekend.
Sweet.
So,
but yeah, you're obviously off Saturday because you're golfing.
So I'll
with
be
us.
off tomorrow. So yeah.
Cool. So yeah,
So
maybe Friday night
we'll get it down. Yeah.
we can crank one down. Maybe we'll see if do y'all upload the VODs on YouTube. So actually, interestingly enough, Reflex, we do now. Yes. So the VOD of a couple streams ago is up on YouTube. I was running into a big issue with copyright rules on YouTube versus on Twitch. But I've pretty much got it sorted out now. So
And really just that VOD. I feel like most of our stuff, we did a lot of copyright on that.
Yeah. But yes, the VODs do go on YouTube. So if you want to go check us out on YouTube, the VODs will be over there.
The VODs are here on Twitch too.
Yeah, we keep them up on Twitch too for as long as they stay. I think it's like a year. They'll stay up. But I have notifications on, so I'll be back. Sweet, yeah. We'll be looking forward to having you, man. We do appreciate all the people that recur in the chat. It's nice to see.
I'm glad you're not one of the Nickelback haters in the comment section.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you are actually. If you are, go ahead and you can be proud of it. But I'm just telling you, man. You put all that Nickelback hate out in the comment section all you want, but then you listen to. Look at this photograph.
I was listening to it in the car the other day, dude.
Every time I learn to make me learn.
They have classics, bro.
Yeah.
They got classics.
Is it it remind me?
What I really am. It's not like you
Come on,
to say sorry.
He's got a bunch of songs.
Dude, a ton.
All
They're
these different-
fantastic.
All of his melodies, his hooks, man.
Same with Creed and Nickelback. I'm unabashed fan of both of them. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe
they're like 1 and 2 is like the worst bands.
I know.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
They're great.
Sub to the YouTube. Thanks, Reflex. We appreciate it, man.
Yes.
And no, that's not me. But yeah, so if you're sub to the YouTube, we've been in the talks of, you were here the last time we were talking about it actually, where we've been in the talks of bringing the Cloud Talks series back on YouTube. We had one episode of it. It was like one of my favorite videos ever, and then we didn't end up filming another, but the Cloud Talks series will be back sooner rather than later. Maybe I don't know, we'll talk about it off camera, but maybe tomorrow we could knock out a quick Cloud Talks.
Yeah, dude. What is it? He's like, I've been wrong.
I've been down to the bottom of every bottle. These hours in my head. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Come
So
on.
great.
Hopefully that
more-
doesn't get copyrighted, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, frick. I'm more into Hotel California. That's another great one too.
Yeah, the Eagles are good, dude. Take it easy, man. Take it
Yeah.
easy.
But yeah, maybe we'll knock out a Cloud. Maybe we can knock out a Cloud Talks tomorrow, and then give the people a Good Friday stream to send them into the 4-day weekend, 3-day weekend, whatever it is.
Yep.
Who knows? But
Stay tuned.
yeah, stay
Lots of
tuned,
content
guys.
coming.
Make sure to check out the YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok all over at 2Fuggin' Also, remember, if you guys have Discord, that we have a Discord. That's our main method of communication with the community. If you have Discord, go ahead and click the link that is in our chat and join us over on the Discord there. You will not be disappointed. We have memes, we have updates, we have show ideas. That's also the primary method of if you were wanting to get onto an episode as a guest caller. It would all be through the Discord, so remember to check us out over there. Remember to check out our mugs shop as well, where you can get the famous Alien Dudes mug that is right behind that pop of Johnny Cash with the Ouija board puck inside of it.
Yeah. Click on the link and then you can see a really good picture of it.
Correct, you can. Remember
Fuck
to
it,
also...
you click on the link, dude.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll click on the
Click
fucking
on the link. You go to the link. It's there. The mug's there.
Yeah,
it's
look at
10
this.
bucks.
It's 10
called
bucks,
Alien
dude.
Dudes. And it's
Are you
actually
shitting
super
me?
sick. It's super custom.
Yeah.
It is a customly made photograph of a Pleiadian beam ship that's in the mountains, because we live in the mountains, and it's this beam ship that's got 2 alien occupants in it. You can see them up there in the windows. They're beaming up me. They're beaming up Jalen, and then they got Ava Dog as well.
Yeah, man.
So,
This mug is fucking sick, guys. So if you need a mug and you're willing to spend the $10, dude, you can't beat it. It's one of the cheapest mugs out there you're gonna find, and it's quality. Check out the mug. Remember that you can also check out our merch.
Aliens.
We do have a ton of merch, including the Alien Dudes logo that you just saw on a t-shirt. We also have the Springtime in the Rockies, the Ava t-shirt.
The Pornhub one is great.
The Pornhub sticker. We do have the Pornhub sticker available right there. The Alien Dude sticker. We got a bunch of stuff on here. Check out the merch shop. Also, I'm actually about to remove the snowboarding sweater and add back the summer line of merch. So make sure. Oh, yeah, I guess that would help. Thank you, Reflex, if I put it over on the screen. There's the Alien Dude's mug right there. They're quality mug. You can't beat it. Quality merch. You can't beat it. Like I said, this merch is going to be gone soon. So if you guys do want the snowboarding t-shirt, get it like today, because I'm going to take it off tomorrow. And add up the summer line of merch, as well as we got the Abstract Dude shirt. I wear this shirt like 3 times a week, every week. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping in. Also, remember that you can go to repsports.com. That is REPP sports.com, and use promo code 2dudesfuggin for 15% off your order. Whether you're looking for some supplements, whether you're looking out for some workout gear, supplements, energy drinks, anything that you could possibly need for your day-to-day life, we need fishing gear. I'll make it. Trust me. The dude's merch is my favorite. The dude's merch is some of my favorite too. I'll make you some fishing gear. I'll make whatever you guys want. That's a great place to put, or a great thing to put in the Discord. All types of ideas. I'm constantly looking for ideas for the new merch lines. But yeah, remember you can go to reppsports.com and use promo code 2dudesvlog for 15% off your order. Support the show. Support your healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
Also, if you're 21 plus, you can message us in the Discord and get our link to Bright Cellars monthly wine subscription box, where they'll ship you personalized wines every single month. If you don't like the wines or do like a wine, you can customize those boxes to tailor your personal tastes. And they do have a special first month promo for the viewers of the Two Dudes show. Austin, do you have anything before we part out of here?
Oh yeah, just get. We have stickers, so you can get the stickers and then put that all in your tackle box. We have really cool stickers. You can get the show them the dude sticker. Like, there's a couple different ones, right? Like, you can get the cool alien one. That you can get the dude sticker, which is super cool, super edgy, super funny.
Yeah.
But if you think that's a little too edgy, you don't want to put that on your tackle box. Obviously, you could just get the alien one, and the alien one's pretty cool. It's the same thing on the mug, which is on the t-shirt. You can get that on everything we sell. That's like our cool little logo. It's the beam, ship, beam, and us three up. You can tell, like, there's me, there's Ava, there's Jalen. Pretty cool.
I also have limited edition holographic versions of these stickers. If you guys want some, we're going to be mailing some out to the fans real soon.
So yeah. So that you can put that on your tackle. Also, cool little Eagles trivia. Don Henley, right? The singer and the drummer for the Eagles. He was married to Stevie Nicks for a little bit from Fleetwood Mac and Landslide, of course, as we all know. Or what was the song? The Dream.
Yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah, so.
Yep. Anyways, interesting little connection there. They even had a band together for a little bit. Henley and Nicks, right?
Interesting.
They had like some pop songs that you guys might have heard before, even. But you just didn't know it was them two. Anyways.
Yeah.
Good night, America.
Good night. Reflex said my tackle box is raw. It'll be an honor to throw that on. Yeah, like I said, dude, Discord, Reflex, join the Discord. Your weekly assignment, join the Discord. I can definitely get you a sticker if you would be blessed to put it on your tackle box. I will make sure to make it a priority of mine to get you a sticker, and you know that it's going to be serious because I'm taking it and writing it. I'm a bit of a zoomer. I write things on sticky notes when we're in the office. I will write it down. But yeah, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We love you so much. We appreciate you, and we will see you on the next stream. Take care. Peace out.